Welcome back to Bayou Time. I'm Jacob DeGate, and it's my pleasure to be joined by Lafourche Parish District Attorney Kristine Russell, and we also have David Melancon, who's from the District Attorney's Office. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having us. We appreciate it.
All right, Ms. Russell, first I'll ask you, I know one of the things that's been a very important to you is the rights of victims out there and making sure victims get their representation. Can you tell me what the District Attorney's Office has done for victims in regards to their rights?
Absolutely. So it's very important. I feel as though we are the voice for the victims in our community. So here in our office, of course, we have a coordinator, Ms. Geraldine Petrie. We have also two women who help her in that department. But we also hired a LCSW, Ms. Heidi Irwin, to assist in our victims department to make sure that the mental health of our victims are also being addressed. It's one thing we certainly can go back and forth with them to court. We certainly can explain to them the legal process and hold their hand through it. But we really wanted to make sure that at the end of the day that maybe we could give them some tools for moving on in life after the case is closed, maybe even have sessions throughout while the case is pending to make sure that we are concerned about their mental health. And so we sort of expanded that victims department when I came in, and I certainly would want to continue to expand it because I think it's truly one of the most important departments in our office. Certainly by law, we have to notify victims of court cases, et cetera, but there was so much more that we can do when it came to our victims. And hopefully we're getting better and better when it comes to dealing with their issues and assisting them through this legal process that they never were asked to be pulled into.
And that's one of I guess there's many different things that you do as a district attorney besides just, prosecuting people. There's, that side of it, dealing with the victims, or helping the victims, I should say. Then there's also the side, I guess, the programs that you have to focus on the youth out there. I believe, Project Lead is one of them. I guess I can ask David, I know you're involved with this a little bit. If you could tell me a little bit about some of the programs the district attorneys have for the youth.
Sure. So what we did was we looked at what was this commonality across the board that we were seeing that was missing from the defendants that we were dealing with each of our cases. And what we saw was that there was a serious lack of respect for themselves, a lack of respect for the community. So we got together and we came up with our Respect You program. So all of our programs fall within our Respect You umbrella, so to speak. So starting at a very young age, in 4th grade, we usually like to try to get them. We start to talk to them about the importance of respect. And what we learned was that respect was kind of a relative term. We always opened it up with, what does respect mean to you? And what we got was different feedback from each of the individual students about what respect actually meant. So when we get that, we obviously validate it, but then we start talking to them about what that looks like in order for our justice system to work and function properly. And then we go into Project Lead and we give them practical steps and scenarios on how they can implement respect and abide by the law. We have our pep talk, which is we separate the boys and the girls, and we just talk to them about self-esteem issues for the girls, and for guys, anger management. We just try to basically pick them up at a young age and walk them through some of the most formidable years of their life with the hopes that we can instill something in them that will benefit them and help them become productive in society.
And just to follow up, I think that we've learned that, we spend so much time in our offices, and I know yours as well, talking about the defendants and why do people commit the crimes that they do. And I think if that we would all focus a little bit on the juvenile cases, all focus on our school programs a lot more. I think if we focus on our children, that we can maybe make a difference in their lives, make them make better choices, that in 5, 10, 15 years from now, if we do that, we're going to see a difference in our community. And I say this all the time, we sort of band-aid things. We come in at the end and we give penalties and consequences to people who commit crimes. But if we would really focus before that happened and really get the children when they're young, that maybe we'll start seeing a difference in our communities. And so that's why our school programs are so very important to us here in the DA's office.
Now, I know last year with COVID, that made it very difficult. Can you tell me, I guess, what you see? I know you can't forecast or too much, but I guess on how things are going to develop with COVID and the increasing trends that we will talk about later in the program. But can you tell me, what are some of the plans that are being made to still have those school programs despite COVID?
It's a great question. So our office, the team that works on school programs, actually we have a meeting set up next week to discuss and put our plan into action. We plan on going back into our schools. We plan on doing all the things that we had before, Project Lead, our pep talk, and all of those things. But we're going to have Plan B. Last year, we weren't able to go into our schools, of course, because of COVID. We want to be able to give to the school board another option, just in case that we cannot be live in schools, that we can still do our programs, but maybe a virtual option. So that's our goal next week, talk about our programs, and then have Plan B just in case we cannot be live, but still offer that to our children in our parish.
All right, we got about a minute left, but I know those are just some of the programs. Are there any other programs that you think are important that the district attorney's office, handles?
Yeah, I tell you, we're always looking for programs here because I love them so much. Our drug court program is doing phenomenal. Our first assistant, Jennifer Richard, really runs that program with the drug court team, of course, and Judge Miller, and they're doing phenomenal work with our candidates there in drug court. Our PTI program, our pretrial intervention, is doing some great work with our first-time offenders, trying to put them on the right path. We've had a 95% success rate in the last 2 years with those who have signed up for PTI, and I'm very proud of that. We've implemented some mental health parts of that too, and I think that has been very important and why we have such a success rate. And so we're also really exploring some more mental health programs within our office, and I'm proud of that as well.
Well, you certainly have a varying degree of programs out there, and it looks like you're handling it well from all sides. We certainly thank you for all the hard work that you're doing out there.
It's a team effort, so thank you so much, Jacob. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you all for joining us, and stay tuned for more right here on HTV.